It's been a busy week in MMA. Conor McGregor just made a tweet just now saying that the fight with Dustin Poirier and him is off. Basically, Dustin Poirier called him out and said that Conor did not live up to his word of giving him the 300K, 500K that was supposed to be donated to Dustin Poirier's charity. His foundation sent emails to Conor and Conor's team, but they did not respond to him. They got ghosted. So basically, there are a lot of heated words on Twitter right now with Dustin and Conor. So the fight on July 10th is maybe off. Conor said he's not fighting, but I think he's just talking. I think he will fight. I don't know, man. Part of me feels Conor's just being an asshole by not paying, but I think part of me thinks Conor will end up paying like at the end of July. But he was supposed to make a donation. Man, this hate fever is strong, man. So let's get to the results of what happened on Sunday. Kevin Holland disappointingly lost again to Marvin Vettori. But Kevin Holland did get some good shots in, but he was very serious, didn't smile, didn't play games, and still lost. He got taken down a lot. Basically, Derek Brunson tweeted after the fight saying he deserves money from Marvin Vettori for creating the blueprint on how to beat Kevin Holland. Yeah, Kevin Holland needs to work on his takedown defense. He got taken down 11 times in that fight. It was actually similar to how Israel Adesanya lost against Jan Blachowicz. But Jan Blachowicz took him down like once or twice. 11 times is kind of ridiculous. At this time, Kevin Holland posted a picture with a Dagestani beard and wrote BRB, he'll be back. Once he learns how to defend against takedowns, I think he'll be a good fighter then, I was rooting for him, man. It was kind of like my birthday night. I wanted him to win. I also wanted a Sasha Palatnikov to win, who had an awesome underdog win like in November against the Louis Cosi. Man, I got like a runny nose, man. This freaking sucks. Yeah, so basically, Kevin Holland lost against Vettori. I actually just rewatched Marvin Vettori versus Israel Adesanya, which took place 3 years ago. And Marvin Vettori took Israel Adesanya down at the end of the third. But Israel got some good shots in. Israel won by split decision. It was a very close fight. Israel, at the end of the fight, said he wasn't happy with it. He said he would take the win, but he wasn't happy. He didn't get a knockout. And Marvin Vettori came very close. Now that Vettori is on a 5-fight win streak, many people argue that he should be a contender. However, Derek Brunson is on a 4-fight win streak. And Derek Brunson's always been put against these young guys that he's always beating. Derek Brunson's very quiet. He never demands people. He wants to fight someone in the top 5. Called out Paulo Costa. We'll see what happens there. We don't know what's going to happen. But I think Marvin Vettori and Derek Brunson should fight it out in the main event. And the winner of that should get Israel Adesanya. But Adesanya hasn't been busy. His last fight was a month ago, and who is he going to fight? We're going to find out next week. Next week is going to be Robert Whittaker versus Kevin Gastelum. Robert Whittaker is not keen on fighting Israel Adesanya. He called it like a cherry on top if he does get to fight him. I don't think Whittaker enjoyed that fight with Adesanya. I mean, he got picked apart and lost. But Adesanya's record is very impressive. I mean, not Adesanya. Robert Whittaker's fight record is very impressive. He got knocked out by Wonderboy Stephen Thompson in November of 2014, it says over here. Actually, February of 2014. So 7 years ago, he got knocked out, right? So, and then after that, he went on a 9-fight win streak, including having the UFC middleweight title. And then he lost to Israel Adesanya by knockout and has since won 2 straight. His record is very good. In the UFC alone, he has 13-3, which is quite impressive, actually. This Saturday is going to be Andrei Arlovsky, who was a heavyweight champion back in 2000 and It must have been 2005 or something, but I'm looking at it right now, and it says 2005. He defended it twice. I mean, it was people at their prime when they were in their like mid to late 20s, I think. He had a pretty good record back in the day, but he started losing, and he's 30-20, which is not a great record. Yeah, I don't really know too many people on next week's card, but next week is going to be Ben Askren versus Jake Paul. It's going to air at the same time as this UFC event. This UFC event, I don't really know anyone who's fighting other than the main event, so we'll see what happens there. But we're very close to Usman Masvidal too, which will take place in 2 weeks. And yeah, last week's event was pretty big, but man, Kevin Holland lost 50-44. Pretty big, significant, unanimous decision. Lost. At least he didn't get knocked out or submitted. But Kevin Holland's, he fought 7 times since May of 2020 last year, which is amazing. Who does that? But he really needs to train against the wrestling because, any future Kevin Holland opponents will see that he has holes in his game, that he can't defend takedowns. Similar to how Francis Ngannou protected against Stipe Miocic's takedown, Kevin Holland will have to do the same. And he'll probably do the same. He needs to get trained. What else happened last week? Julian Marquez, hilariously, he beat Sam Alvey, smiling Sam Alvey after a technical submission, rear naked choke, amazing. Sam Alvey, his nickname is Smiling Sam Alvey. He always smiles, right? But he wasn't smiling after that loss. He actually was kind of crying. You can call him Crying Sam Alvey. Hey, that's actually pretty funny. We should actually tweet him that or something. Julian Marquez, he's the one that called out Miley Cyrus 2 months ago on Valentine's Day and actually got a response from Miley Cyrus. And hilariously, he came out to Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus. That was his walkout music. That was really funny, man. And he was singing to it and everything. Sam Alvey came out to Taylor Swift's Shake It Off. It was one of the weirdest entrances I've ever seen in my life. Another guy, Arnold Allen in the bantamweight division. This guy, featherweight division. Very impressive, man. This guy's like 27 years old from England. He's on an 8-fight win streak right now. He hasn't beaten like super big names or anything, but he's a very interesting fighter, man. He's 17-1. He lost 1 unanimous decision in the minor leagues, and he's won 8 times. What the hell? I'm looking at his personal life. He was convicted for fighting someone in public for some fight in the past. It's kind of weird. In a brawl like 5 years ago. An 8-fight win streak in the UFC. That's very impressive, man. His fighting style is so fascinating, man. He's very quick on his feet, and he doesn't get hit very much. He did a fantastic job. Still very young. He needs to stay busy. He needs to win more, prove himself. Sasha Palatnikov, he lost. I was pretty disappointed. It was kind of my birthday weekend. I wanted him to win, wanted Kevin Holland to win. They both lost. He did an amazing comeback last time, but he had to tap out this time. Jorgen De Castro, some big heavyweight guy, got knocked out. What else happened? Some guy, Gamrot, knocked out another guy named Scott Holzman. Jim Miller, who's a veteran who's fought so many times, he lost. Mike Perry loses. Mackenzie Dern, quite an attractive women's strawweight. She has an amazing record. Wow, her grappling record. She's fought like 100 grappling fights. But her MMA record is 11-1. She won by submission. She's finishing people in the strawweight division. I think she is actually 6-1 in the UFC and only 28 years old. She should climb the rankings very soon, I think. All right, let's get to the news. What news do we have over the past week? Alexander Volkov will face Cyril Gane, I think in June. That should be a good one. two scary heavyweights gone. Won by unanimous decision against Jairzinho Rozenstruik, and Alexander Volkov basically retired Alexander Overeem. So this fight, I don't know what's going to happen. But the winner should be closer to the heavyweight title. Speak of the heavyweight title, John Jones feels confident that the fight will happen, but we don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, Bellator had some pretty interesting stuff. Like Patricio Pitbull is going to face AJ McKee maybe this summer. AJ McKee has fought in the Bellator at 17-0, which is impressive. Who does that? Anderson Silva will fight. Will do a boxing fight. Who knows how much he'll be getting paid, but we'll see what happens. Some Korean guy dominated last week in the UFC, and he did a very good job and won. What else did I put here? Sean O'Malley did a video calling out Dominic Cruz. Dominic Cruz is 35, 36 years old now. And, maybe his career is starting to go decline, but he did win by unanimous decision recently, so we'll see what happens. Khabib Nurmagomedov actually called Kamaru Usman the pound-for-pound top fighter in the world. Right now it's held by John Jones, but John Jones is not active. John Jones did an interview saying that he might not even be active for a number of years until he gets paid. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, but by far, one of the biggest news is definitely McGregor and Dustin Poirier. Who knows what's going to happen with that? I don't know if Dustin... I'm not a big fan of foundations and charities because although it's for a charitable cause, it's still the money is going to a person. Like the person can do whatever they want with the money. How do we know for sure that the money is going to the foundation? It could be used to buy food or buy furniture for their own home. I'm not accusing Dustin Poirier of anything like that, but I'm not a fan of foundations like that. Conor they're in a very big heated words right now. I don't think Conor's going to be donated to Dustin anytime soon, especially after these heated words exchanged over the past day. Yeah, I doubt Conor's just going to go, oh, yeah, I'll pay you. Just check your bank account. Here's $500,000. He's not going to do that. That is off. But it just shows Conor is kind of a liar. He says he goes through with his donations, but now he kind of implied that foundations don't last a long time, which is why he's not donating or hasn't donated. He also implied that he doesn't know the funds that he wanted to get didn't come through. But then again, you see him a few months ago buying a $1 million watch and going on yachts and stuff. So who knows what this guy's doing and whether he's going to live up to his word or not. He felt Dustin Poirier tarnished his reputation by saying that publicly. But Dustin Poirier sent messages to Conor, got no response, so he has a right to do that, right? But we'll see what happens. I think the lead up to Conor and Dustin should be interesting this time. It's not going to be friendly. It could be big, and being that big alone, whether this is a tactic by McGregor or not, it would draw a lot of eyeballs. By drawing a lot of eyeballs, they get a huge chunk from the buy rates, and that alone will pay off Dustin's charitable causes. The money they make from all of the pay-per-view buys, should it reach very high due to this heated exchange, will pay off anyway. So Conor, if he decides to go through with this fight, which we don't know 100% because Conor said the fight is off, we don't know what's going to happen. Conor actually requested this fight because he got knocked out by Dustin Poirier. He wants to avenge his loss. Dustin doesn't need it, but Dustin chose this fight over a lightweight belt. But if Conor chooses to not go through with this fight and chooses to do an easier fight, then Dustin Poirier will get his lightweight fight against either Charles Oliveira or Michael Chandler. So either way, Dustin benefits. And Conor running away, we don't know if he benefits. We'll see. Well, that's it for the news this week. I hope you guys enjoy it. Peace out.